Hit that like button for me when you come on in here. We're gonna get started in a second. What up? What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm MoeDotJ, and this is the Mo You Know. Today we got some breaking news on a senator by the name of Bob Menendez. Now, this gentleman here has just been indicted on federal corruption charges, bribery charges, and they got his wife. On top of all of that, they found a lot of money. They found gold bars. He's been taking bribes, and we're going to jump into this case and we're going to see where the hell it takes us. Because you know, if it's one of them, there's always another one somewhere just lurking. So hit that subscribe button, hit that like button for me. We're going to go ahead and jump into this. Let me see. Senator Bob. We'll go over to CNN first, see what they have, since it's the Senator Bob Menendez and his wife indicted on bribery charges. DOJ seizes gold bars and $500,000. Damn, ain't that something? What up, Eric? So right now we got Bob Menendez. They got him today. They said they found what, 3 gold bars in here, which is like, I think they said $400,000. They had a Benz. He had cash in here. So yeah, they on his head right now. The crazy thing is Bob's history. Well, Robert, 6 months ago, no, it's not 6 months ago, 6 years ago, he beat a corruption charge. This time it's going to stick. So let's go ahead and jump into this, see what they got to say. And we're going to jump around. We're going to follow the names and all of the clues. Wait, that's the short version. There's a let me see. CNN. There's an extended version. Let me see something. Videos. where they go into full details. Here we go. Senator Bob Menendez indicted again for corruption, allegedly had cash stuffed in gold bars. Now, he's not beating this charge. Let me see. Yeah, all right, here we go. Damn, you said you can't hear nothing? God, man, they always doing this. Hold on, let me see something. You can't hear me, or you can't hear the audio from the news article? Because I might have to stop the screen. Let me see. Stop screen. Present. Share screen. Which one couldn't you hear, Eric? Was it me, or you couldn't hear the article? The video? Let me see.
eBay.
What about now?
Welcome back. Federal prosecutors in New York are holding a news conference now after indicting New Jersey Senator Bob Menendez on bribery charges. Let's listen.
Today, Menendez has obtained a 3-count indictment charged while Hannah, Jose Uribe.
All right, we good? All right. A little bit, and then we'll go back and talk about what the hell's going on.
Welcome back. Let's listen.
Today, I'm announcing that my office has obtained a 3-count indictment charging Senator Robert Menendez, his wife Nadine Menendez, and 3 New Jersey businessmen, while Hannah, Jose Uribe, and Fred Davies for bribery offenses. The investigation that led to these charges has been run out of the Southern District of New York. The indictment alleges that between 2018 and 2022, Senator Menendez, the senior U.S. Senator from New Jersey and the chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, and his wife Nadine Menendez, engaged in a corrupt relationship with Hannah, Uribe, and Davies. The indictment alleges that through that relationship, the senator and his wife accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars of bribes.
Now, y'all know when it comes to this bribery stuff, it doesn't take much for them to prove this. Now, that's what they're trying to do right now. I don't know if you've been paying attention to the judge, that black fool that been accepting millions and millions of dollars in trips and expenses. They were paying for his nephew's tuition for school. Yeah, they're cracking down on all of this. And all of these people were close to, well, not this senator here. We're going to do a little digging on Bob, because Bob, this is the second time he's been charged with this. First time he was charged 6 years ago, he beat that case with a hung jury, but it doesn't look like they're going to get it this time. They actually have physical jackets with Bob Menendez's name on it. And on the inside, there was money stuffed in the pockets. At the house, gold bars. There's a Benz. They're about to trace back to see who bought that. It's about to go down, man. They're cracking down on all of these fools. So that's a good thing for America, man. Everybody talking about the migrants and everything else. No, we got to deal with what we got here. America is the home of the free. If you are seeking asylum, come to America.
In exchange for Senator Menendez using his power and influence to protect and to enrich those businessmen and to benefit the government of Egypt. The indictment alleges that Hannah, Uribe, and Davies provided bribes in the form of cash, gold, home mortgage payments, a low-show or a no-show job for Nadine Menendez, a Mercedes-Benz, and other things of value to the senator and his wife. Now, constituent service is part of any legislator's job. Senator Menendez is no different. And as we explain in the indictment, there are things that Senator Menendez says he can do for his constituents and things that he says he cannot do for his constituents. He put it all on his Senate website. So for instance, it says he cannot compel an agency to act in someone's favor. It says he cannot influence matters involving a private business. It says he cannot get involved in criminal matters or cases, period. But we allege that behind the scenes, Senator Menendez was doing those things for certain people, the people who were bribing him and his wife. And let me say a little bit more about the conduct that's alleged in the indictment. The indictment alleges that Senator Menendez took several actions as part of this corrupt relationship. First, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez, including his leadership role on the Senate Foreign Relations Committee, to benefit the government of Egypt in various.
Sounds kind of familiar. Now, if you remember a couple years back, there was audio of a gentleman on the phone with the president of Ukraine saying, if you give me some information on one of the presidential candidates' children, I'll do something for your country. So all of these corruption charges, we're starting to hear more about them. You can't do what you used to do back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Everything gets released and everyone finds out. So Bob Menendez, what he was doing was helping out the Egyptian government. In return, they would pay him money because he had the power and influence here in the United States to give either like try to get tariffs taken off, basically taxing any products that coming in and out, or giving them, some kind of funding or some of that nature. We're gonna go in and see what they're actually alleging that he did for Egypt. But this is what we see all the time. I know we joke about it in TV shows, Rashad Tate, and actually having power and influence, but everyone that gets to these levels, they actually have a lot of pull. And with the feds on your ass, we know this ain't no play game.
Among other actions, Senator Menendez allegedly provided sensitive, non-public U.S. government information to Egyptian officials.
Sounds crazy. Someone else allegedly, well, it's not even alleged, they got the documents back. They were showing classified, documents that shouldn't have been shown to the public. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot going on here. So if we're seeing the feds do this on a big scale, the big fish are right there and they're just waiting to get them. Everyone's going to fall in line. Don't worry. Everyone's a fall in line.
And otherwise took steps to secretly aid the government of Egypt. We also allege that Senator Menendez improperly pressured a senior official at the U.S. Department of Agriculture to protect a lucrative monopoly that the government of Egypt had awarded to Hana, a lucrative monopoly that Hana then used to fund certain bribe payments. Second, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence to try to disrupt a criminal investigation and prosecution undertaken by the New Jersey Attorney General's office related to an associate and a relative of Uribe. Third, the indictment alleges that Senator Menendez used his power and influence to try to disrupt a federal prosecution of Davies in the District of New Jersey in two ways. First, by seeking to install a United States attorney who he thought could be influenced with respect to Davies. And second, by trying to influence that office to act favorably in Davies' case.
All right, hold on. Before we go any further, I keep hearing these names. I need to get a picture or get some kind of understanding of who he's actually working with. We can't just go through this and hear all these names popping up. We need to know list of characters. That's what we need, Bob. Robert. Yeah, we're gonna call you Robert. You're no longer Bob. Robert. Who's all involved with Robert and his wife? Bob Menendez. List of charges. All right, his accusations of corruption. Menendez is charged with 3 alleged crimes, including being on the receiving end of a bribery conspiracy. The conspiracy counts also charge his wife, Nadine, and 3 people described as New Jersey associates and businessmen. All right, so we got these 3 here. They'll appear in court Friday, 10:30 Wednesday. The group is accused of coordinating to use his power, benefiting Egypt. All right, here we go. In the indictment, prosecutors accused Menendez of trying to sway the president's choice of the top federal prosecutor in New Jersey to benefit one of the business associates and to pressure the Department of Agriculture to protect the business, the monopoly that, wait, what deal is it? Oh, here we go. The Department of Agriculture in 2019 had contacted Egypt to object it, giving Menendez contact. Hannah monopoly rights related to supplying halal meat to the U.S. Halal meat. Oh, so what he was trying to do, the Department of Agriculture contacted Egypt and said, "Hey, don't talk to Robert." Robert was calling over there, basically get the monopoly. That means own all of it. He got everything. You know, you got a monopoly. That's the only way you can build houses and hotels. You got to own all of it. Now in the U.S., they have, they have some barriers put in place, so you can't monopoly, but you can monopoly, if that makes sense. You technically aren't monopoly. If you look at the big 3, the car business, that's not a monopoly, but it is a monopoly because those 3 stop other companies from building up. They all work together. They are sworn enemies, but they all work together to try to keep this monopoly amongst the 3. But they contacted Egypt, told them not to mess with Robert, who was in office in 2019. Interesting. So Menendez, he must have knew somebody to try to get the contract to get the halal meat. Now that's, you know, that's what Muslims eat. They pray over the food before they butcher it. I actually did a 5-page report on that in 2019. Yeah, I did, 2019. Damn. So he was about to make bank because he probably knew, all right. He probably knew a supplier.
And as we allege in the indictment, the senator agreed to do these things and use his power in this way because Hannah was paying bribes, because Uribe was paying bribes, and because Davies was paying bribes. Fortunately, the public officials the senator sought to influence did not bend to the pressure. That's a good thing. Now, as part of this investigation, special agents with the FBI executed search warrants on the residence and safe deposit box of Senator Menendez and Nadine Menendez in New Jersey. When they got there, they discovered approximately $500,000 of cash stuffed into envelopes and closets. Some of the cash was stuffed in the senator's jacket pockets. Some of the envelopes of cash contained Davies' fingerprints, Davies' DNA.
So I got Davies. So Davies is probably the guy that was doing the halal kickback because he looks like he's fucking. Mr. Davies is a prominent real estate developer based in Jersey. These are the key players in the case against Senator Menendez. Come on, not today. Not today, please. Crack the case. Jersey by Menendez and his wife. Bribery. The politician has been indicted on federal charges. We know that. Fred Davies is a builder who associated with the rehabilitation of New Jersey's Hudson River waterfront. Hannah is the founder of the Halal Meat Certification Company with headquarters in Jersey. Oh, so this is why they were messing with Hannah. Hannah had the certifications there. So they were telling Egypt, hey, Egypt, deal with us, give us that contract. Boom, they're going to go ahead and undercut that contract and they're going to keep money off the top, allegedly. All right. So, and they got the headquarters in Jersey. Ubery is a former insurance agent from Union City. Uh, Hannah started dating the senator. They were a part of a small circle of friends per reports. The businessman is a U.S. citizen born in Egypt. Deebies is based out of Edgewater, lived in a Palestinian refugee camp for 10 years before immigrating to the United States as a child. So 56 years here in the state. Damn. So,
Agents also discovered a lot of gold that was provided by Davies and Hannah. And the FBI, of course, found the Mercedes-Benz that Uribe had provided them. Now, the items that the FBI uncovered are discussed in the indictment, which I encourage all of you to read carefully. Let's take a look at just some of the items. So as you can see here, this is the Mercedes-Benz that we allege that Uribe provided as part of the scheme. What you see here are 3 kilograms of gold. These 3 kilograms together are worth approximately $150,000.
a kilo of gold is going for 50 right now. A kilo of gold is going for 50 right now. I thought it was like 44. Well, they said approximately. So they just want to round it up to 150 to make it sound better. Okay, my bad.
And of course, here you can see just a fraction of the cash that was uncovered as part of the scheme.
Oh shit, they about 62,000.
Now, I want to make a couple of things very clear. First, my office remains firmly committed to rooting out public corruption without fear or favor and without any regard to partisan politics. That's in our DNA. Always has been, always will be. And second, this investigation is very much ongoing. We are not done. And I want to encourage anyone with information to come forward and to come forward quickly. And they can do that by reaching out.
The FBI? Yeah, this the FBI.
Gonna, I'm gonna tell.
Out to the FBI's tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI. Now, a case of this magnitude requires tremendous partnership. And I want to thank our partners at the FBI who have been with us since day one and have been absolutely incredible every step along the way. I also want to thank our partners at the IRS for their assistance in this investigation. I want to thank our colleagues from around the Department of Justice, who are far too many to name here and to thank specifically, but they have also been invaluable. And of course, I want to thank the career prosecutors from my office who are handling this investigation. They have done tremendous work. Eli Mark, Laura Pomerantz, Dan Richenthal, Paul Monteleone, and their supervisors, Rebecca Donaleski and Maureen.
Look at this gentleman right here. This dude ain't playing around. We joke around on my TV shows about the feds. Look at this dude. He ain't playing around. They on his ass. They got everything they need. When they come a knocking, they don't care if there's no answer. They kicking down doors.
Comey, the chiefs of our office's public corruption unit. I now want to invite up to the podium FBI Assistant Director in Charge,
The FBI.
James Smith.
Yeah,
Jim.
this the FBI.
Another brother. Let's see. Another brother. Let's see what he got.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I'm not going to go any further into the case as the U.S. Attorney Damian Williams explained, but what I want to talk about more or less is, hey, the FBI's the FBI investigating public corruption is one of our top priorities, and we will continue to investigate public corruption cases. I want to thank the agents, the team over here from the FBI, the IRS, for their hard work into this investigation. They've spent many hours and days and weeks and months working this investigation. I would also like to thank all the prosecutors from the Southern District of New York. I'd like to thank Damian Williams for his support in this particular case. I would like to thank the IRS for all their investigators who worked tirelessly along with the team here.
You remember We need to get rid of the 82,000 IRS agents. No, we don't. They doing their job, man. They doing their job. Because if not, all this shit would go up under the table. You see what I'm saying? No one would know none of this shit. Oh, we don't need them, man. We don't need them. All right. All right. We got them. But we ain't got them all yet. We still fucking up. The feds ain't playing around with y'all. Y'all better quit playing around. And if you know any information pertaining to this case, get on the phone and contact your local police department. They'll reach out to the feds because no one just got the feds hotline number on speed dial. You know what I mean? Damn. So they said the price of a kilo of gold is 62,000, man. People moving the wrong kind of work. You know what I mean?
To investigate this case. And I would also finally like to thank the DOJ's Public Integrity Section. So thank you very much for all your support in this.
Breaking news, New Jersey Democratic Sen.
Then so they got his ass. Look at him and his wife. You know they crooked. You know they crooked. Is that his wife? Yeah, that's his wife. See? She was in on all of it. She was in on all of it. Both of them going down. This is all alleged. But yeah, we know they crooked. This fool was trying to get the contract. He was trying to monopolize with Egypt and having Egypt buy the food from here, send it over. Oh, man. The Department of Agriculture got on the phone and said, don't do that. Egypt, listen, Robert is one man that really don't have any control. Get off the phone with him. Deal directly with us. Damn, Robert, what kind of deal you thought you was about to get? I want to know how much it was worth. Now, they're saying that this is the second time New Jersey senior senator, I was about to say citizen, senior senator has been charged with corruption. A 2015 indictment ended in the mistrial in 2018 after a jury failed to reach a verdict on all counts. A judge acquitted him on some charges. The previous charges against Menendez centered on his relationship with Florida eye doctor Solomon Melgen, a close ally of the senator. Menendez allegedly accepted gifts from Melgen in exchange for using the power of his Senate office to benefit the doctor's financial and personal interests. So as soon as he gets out of this, 2019 rolls around, and we find out that in 2019, this is when all the halal stuff went down because the Department of Agriculture got on the phone and said, don't do it. So a year after he got off the charges for corruption, he said, let me get back into corruption, allegedly. Damn. So the same charges he had, he beat him in 18, but they told us in 19 is when all the halal stuff started happening with the Department of Agriculture in Egypt. Wait a minute. 2019. I'm gonna find that article again. All right, so he's helping the doctor Solomon Melgen to benefit the doctor's financial and personal interests. So I wonder what he was trying to do. Probably push some kind of bills down there. Menendez is facing re-election next year and will have to step down as the chairman of the powerful Senate Foreign Relations Committee. Man, he should have been off of that. Rules for the Senate Democratic Caucus says that any member who is charged with a felony must step aside from a leadership position. However, according to a person close to Menendez, the senator will not resign. See, they need to have that for like the president. Anytime someone is charged with a felony, they must step aside. And they should probably write that on in, but they'll never write that in. For years, forces behind the scenes have repeatedly attempted to silence my voice and dig my political grave, Menendez said in a statement about the indictment. Since the investigation was leaked nearly a year ago, there has been an active smear campaign of anonymous sources and innuendos to create air of impropriety, my bad, where none exists. He continued to have falsely been accused before because I refused to back down to the powers that be, and to the people in New Jersey were able to see through the smoke and the mirrors, recognize I was innocent. Man, hell no. Is this innocent, y'all? What y'all think? This innocent? Got senator's name here in this money. You know what I mean? What y'all thinking? What y'all thinking right now? Is he innocent? I mean, it's just a little bit of cash. This ain't nothing. This is pocket change right here. This is chump change. This ain't no real money right here. Are we saying that senator was collecting this money from his illegal business doings? Hmm. Hmm. Maybe this is just money. This is go out. You know, you got to go get your car washed. You got to get you an outfit for the weekend. You know what I mean? You got to put a down payment on another piece of property. This ain't real money, right? This is just chump change. Now it says a photo of a jacket and cash from the indictment of Senator Bob Menendez found during a 2022 search by federal agents. Investigators found over $480,000 in cash in his New Jersey home. Okay, Robert. Congressional Hispanic Caucus, 2914, 3 carried a 1, 43. So wait. Oh, this is another jacket. Senator Menendez. This jacket got a bankroll on him. Then this one, he was walking around with a little throwaway cash, a little 4,300. Little 4,300 in this, you know what I mean? 2 different jackets. Yeah, I'm gonna wear this one over. I'm gonna wear this jacket over here. This one. I like that black leather. In June 2022, federal agents searched his home and found fruits of the pair's corrupt bribery agreement. With the 3 businessmen, according to the indictment, investigators found over $480,000 in cash, some stuffed in envelopes and hidden in clothing, as well as $70,000 in the Dean Menendez's safe deposit box. 4, 5, yeesh. $550,000 in cash in the house. Also found in the home were over $100,000 worth of gold bars provided by either Hannah or Davies. Now, Davies is the one, the real estate, and Hannah is the one with the halal headquarters. Damn. Menendez allegedly gave sensitive U.S. government information that secretly aided the government of Egypt and improperly advised and pressured a U.S. agriculture official to protect an exclusive contract for Hannah to be the exclusive purveyor for halal to meat to Egypt, according to the indictment. Damn. So the dude in the Department of Agriculture, he was pressured, pause, by Menendez. He probably went and told hey, boss, man, this dude Menendez is, hey, he on my bumper. You know what I mean? So the Department of Agriculture called Egypt and said, don't talk to Menendez. Damn. And they giving bricks. They get, man, a kilo of gold. They just said, I just looked it up too, because it's trending now. How much? Man, get this off my screen. How much is 1 kilo of gold worth? What to know amid Senator Bob Menendez's indictment? Apps like Zelle, Apple Pay can make wealth seem blah, blah, blah. We don't care. We trying to see how much this is running for. The public was reminded that this week, with the announcement that more than 100,000 in gold bars were found in Menendez's home. We know they got a Benz. They got the regular Benz too. You know what I mean? Here we go. How much is a kilo of gold worth? A kilogram of gold is worth about $62,000 today. So back when they got him, they're not doing the inflation with it. You know what I mean? So back when they arrested him, it was roughly, what he said, more than 100,000. They said 150 in the indictment. So 50. So that's what, $12,000. So within a year, it went up $12,000. A kilogram, Kilogram of gold is worth about $62,000 today, according to the live price tracking at goldprice.org. A kilogram of silver is worth about $760. Now I go give me a kilogram of silver. I can't afford no kilogram of gold. More than $100,000 in gold bars were found at the home, according to the indictment in March of 2022. Nadine Menendez sold two 1 kilogram bars to a jeweler. At today's current price, that would be equal to about $124,000. So they had 5 total gold bars. Well, 5 gold bars that they knew about. They picked up 3, 2, 3. They say 3 out of 10 are real. Well, we got 2. We need to find the other one. She took 2, so she was walking around with about 120. Well, back then, let's just say 100,000. Damn, so 5 gold bars, 300 bands, a little more. For 5, they would have still had all 5. How much is a kilogram? 2.2 pounds. Store-bought pineapple. Man, we know it's 35 O's, and you know what I'm saying? We already knew it was 35 O's in a kilo. That right there is common knowledge. We learned this at like 6 years old. You know what I mean? We already knew it was 35 in a key. You know what I mean? Let me get back over here. Yeah, where's it at? Bob Menendez, Fox. You know, we can't just give one side. You gotta let everybody get a say. So even though the downfall of Fox is right around the corner, man, they just keep getting hit with different defamation charges. But let me see.
This is your season to smile with Aspen Dental's anniversary savings event celebrating 25 years of affordable care.
When does Fox start putting ads on here? But just look at this family. What y'all think, man? They did it or they didn't do it? I need more evidence. But what you guys are saying, just off innocent or guilty? Just off this. You guys think?
New patients without insurance get a free full exam and x-rays. Plus, everyone gets 20% off all treatment plans. Book today.
The U.S. Attorney for the Southern District out of New York, the unsealing of an indictment in the charging of U.S. Senator Robert Menendez, the senior senator from the state of New Jersey, and his wife, Nadine, with bribery offenses in connection with their corrupt relationship, they say, of 3 businessmen out of New Jersey. That's about it now. It would be the second time Menendez has been indicted. He stood trial several years ago that ended in a mistrial. The New Jersey Democrat up for re-election next year, which could be interesting, but Democratic states, so you wonder whether or not that could change hands and change parties in a re-election. But right now, Menendez is facing a press conference, perhaps later today
at 11 a.m.
On behalf of the feds, that will give us a bit more information as to what is going down here. You got Damian Williams from the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York, and James Smith, as you mentioned, Dana, 11 a.m. today. Eastern.
So 6 years ago, he had a trial in a different corruption case, and that ended in a hung jury. Okay, so he is no stranger to these allegations. He beat them one time. This one's a little different. It even involves gold bars. You know, it's a little bit brazen. Of course, he'll have his day in court, but it sounds like the Southern District of New York said, we are on our way to charge Bob Menendez.
They also mentioned the 3 businessmen in this report. Diabetes, don't know what the relationship is or what the extent of the business relationship is with them, in which they allegedly accepted hundreds of thousands of dollars in bribes in exchange for using Menendez's power and influence as a senator to seek to protect and enrich those three men and benefit the government of Egypt. So this gets deeper the more we read into it, and momentarily we're going to get Jonathan Turley and Chad Pergam to fill in some of the holes for us.
So one other little thing about this, I mentioned that 6 years ago he had similar charges that were basically it resulted in a hung jury. So those charges were dismissed. At that time, in 2018, they said that that's when this one case ended. But in the indictment today, they say this new corrupt relationship began around 2018. So that would have been the same year.
So he's been in the crosshairs for some time, and we'll see what.
So they said the actual. So the charge he beat, I thought they were saying that it started up in 2019. So while he was facing the charge or after the charge, they saying this is when he allegedly. He's done, man. There ain't gonna be no hung jury this time. He's done. He's cooked. Eric, I seen you asking about taxes. Now, my only thing about the whole tax situation is these are bribes. So it's not like they're gifts. You know what I mean? So this wouldn't be taxable money anyway. This is all, you know what I mean? So I don't know if they would hit him with those kind of charges, like tax evasion. I mean, they could probably do something like that, but I think the corruption charges and everything else is going to be what they want. I don't know how that will work though, because they're just giving them gold bars. Like if someone gives you a gold bar, you don't have to tell no one you have a gold bar. You know what I mean? That's not something you have to claim. Now the cash, yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? You got to, but this is just like, hey, you did something, you know what I'm saying? All of this is you did something illegal, here goes some money for it. You know what I'm saying? You helped me out, here goes some money. It wasn't like, hey, we gave you a gift for you at work, you know what I'm saying? A gift that you needed to claim. That's what's going on with the Supreme Court judge, not Justice, what the fuck is his name? Clarence Thomas. He didn't claim any of these trips. He wasn't telling anybody that they were paying for his son's school. You see what I'm saying? This here is just, hey, here go a gold bar. You know what I mean? Here go a gold bar. Make it happen. Damn. So he beat the case. So he was probably, I don't know, he was probably feeling cocky. He just beat a case, and there's no telling when this actually started. You mean to tell me that him and all three of these came together in just that 1 year? It had to be something else going on. Got recommended. He thought he could do what he was doing down in Florida. He beat that. So shit, we don't know if he was doing it or not. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? By the court of law, they said he beat it. So we can't say nothing bad about him. They said he beat it. They said he beat it. Let me see. I know there's a let's see what Fox got to say. Like I said, man, we see both sides. We hear what they got to say, and then we'll go figure out what we can believe. We don't discriminate. Everyone gets a voice. Well, not everyone, but everyone. Let me see. They got a video. I want to hear what they got to say. They said 5 explosive revelations.
Have you been around?
The Democrat that did call for him to resign, because remember he said he's stepping down. He doesn't know that, but that's just for that committee. So he doesn't have to resign. He's just going to step down because he has a felony. You see how they had that written? So if you get indicted, they still get their pay. You got to step away. You know what I mean? You don't have to resign. You're still going to get your pay. So they still look out for each other, even when people do wrong. If you got arrested, you had a job, if you were on something, but you beat it, your job will continue to pay you throughout that. But it don't work like that. We're going to hear what these revelations are. Y'all think it's going to be legit, or Fox about to be over here?
Breaking news. We had it last hour. Democratic Senator from New Jersey, Bob Menendez, and his wife have been indicted on charges of bribery, charged with corruption-related offenses for the second time in about 10 years' time. This, however, seems to be different, right? With us now, the former governor of New Jersey, Chris Christie. And sir, welcome to our program. We just want viewers to understand that some of the allegations here on behalf of the Southern District of New York includes cash and gold in a luxury car and mortgage payments. These are items of material nature. And it seems that it's a bit easier to prove an allegation when you've got a physical piece of property in your possession. How do you see it?
Sure. Well, good morning, Bill and Dana. Look, this is much, much different than the case against Bob Menendez a number of years ago. And the reason for that is they found.
Now, I'm not a Republican or anything, but Chris Christie, yeah, he used to be in some crooked shit with Trump back in the day. He admits to that, but, you know, he's acting like now he sees the light. But out of all, like, Republican candidates, Chris Christie is one that I've listened to. It's like, he got some, you know, he got a little something up his sleeve. Will he win? Hell no. But if I had to choose out of those, like if I was going to vote Republican, which I'm not, well, I don't even vote, to be honest with you, but Chris Christie would be the one out of DeSantis, Trump. I'd probably go Chris Christie.
Found $480,000 in cash, as alleged in the indictment, in his home and in his wife's safe deposit box. Gold bars in his home and in a safe in the home. It is going to be very difficult, it seems to me, for a United States Senator to explain why he's got $480,000 in cash stuffed in jackets with his name emblazoned on them, hanging in closets in his home. I could tell you that, you know, I did 130 of these corruption cases when I was U.S. attorney in New Jersey. And we had a few of them that were like this, where folks were taking cash bribes and stuffed them in, you know, suit jackets, blazers, you know, windbreakers in their homes. And when the FBI searched, they found them. I never once heard anybody have a good explanation, especially in public office, for having that kind of cash in their home and not deposited in a bank somewhere.
Can I ask you, sir, what happens if this goes forward? You know, you have a presidential election, you have Bob Menendez up in 2024, and this is the second time in a decade he's been charged with corruption. 6 years ago, he beat it with a hung jury. Now are the stakes higher? And what happens in New Jersey if there's a change?
Well, look, you know, in New Jersey, it's a pretty straightforward process, Dana. We went through it when I was governor.
I ain't even noticed that. Look in the bottom right corner, man. Fox got they got this live for Bob Menendez's indictment, but in the bottom right, they have live immigrants coming across the border. Look at this.
It is the choice of the governor of New Jersey to make an appointment that would last until the next general election if Bob Menendez were to resign or be removed from office after a conviction. Bill Murphy's term runs until January of 2026. So, you know, the idea would be if Menendez had to leave or volunteered to leave, it would give the Democratic governor an opportunity to appoint a replacement.
All right.
And that's the way it would work. I appointed a replacement for Frank Lautenberg and appointed my Republican Secretary General Jeff Chiesa to serve until the next election when Cory Booker was elected.
All right, well, you need to go save your voice when we know that you're at the airport headed to Denver. Thank you for jumping on the phone with us. This news just breaking this hour, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Damn. So what y'all thinking, man? Because it ain't much right now. We know he had $480,000 cash money on his hand. He had 3 gold bars. He had a Mercedes-Benz. Old lady Nadine, she took 2 gold bars, went ahead and cashed that out, about 100 bands back in the day. 2018, he beat the case. 2018, they alleging that this new scheme started to, you know what I'm saying, cook up a little bit. Damn. Man, I'm just going to be honest with you, Menendez. Guilty. I'm just going to be honest with you. Guilty. Guilty. And the T stands for time that you are about to serve. 10 to life. That's what I'm looking at. Breached official duty in a way that benefited the government of Egypt. So wait, hold on. This dude allegedly was just taking the bribes from the 3 businessmen. He wasn't. Nah, there's gotta be more to this. They're gonna have to bring up some more. Because I'm thinking he was taking larger schemes and, saying bribes from other countries' governments. You mean to tell me he's only dealing with these 3 when he sees that he's calling Egypt up like, hey, Egypt, work with, work over here with Halal Great, you know what I mean? Or whatever the business was. Damn, that's some crazy shit. He had a luxury vehicle. He was getting compensation for no show jobs, a luxury vehicle, and the things of other value. So DB's was probably getting them houses and stuff. Hana was the one that was doing the food. Oh man, Fox, this is just, hey man, Fox, y'all better be giving credit to the website y'all getting this from. This looks like copy and paste. Damn. Yeah, well, I know they said that the Democrats are calling for him to resign and not retire. He's not going to resign. He's just going to retire. Yep, he stepped down. I doubt he's going to resign. He probably going to let this go all the way to court, do what it do, and probably retire. That way he can still get all his benefits. If he resigned, they try to cut you off a little bit. I want to see what else he did. I believe that this is larger than what we're looking at.
In the Southern Senator Bob Menendez has been indicted on bribery charges, according to the U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of New York.
Today I'm announcing that my office has obtained a 3-count indictment charging Senator Robert Menendez, his wife Nadine Menendez, and 3 New Jersey businessmen, while Hana, Jose Uribe, and Fred Davies for bribery offenses.
Menendez and his wife Nadine are accused of a, quote, corrupt relationship with 3 New Jersey businessmen. The alleged bribes included, quote, cash, gold bars, payments toward a home mortgage, compensation for a low or no-show job, a luxury car, and other things of value. Prosecutors say they found $480,000 in cash hidden in clothing, closets, and a safe inside the home. Back in 2015, the New Jersey senator was also indicted on federal corruption charges, accusing him of using his political influence to help an eye doctor. Those were dropped in 2018 when a jury could not reach a verdict. The 69-year-old Menendez is chairman of the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations and the first sitting senator in history, indicted on 2 different criminal allegations. He will be forced to step down according to rules for the Senate Democratic Caucus. Menendez maintains nothing wrong.
Hey, Menendez, I don't know if you heard or not, but we found $480,000 in cash, 3 gold bars, a BMW, and a Benz. Yeah, the BMW, that was me. I was pulling up. I was about to go ask him something, but I seen the feds, so I left. So they took me off the indictment. I ain't had nothing to do with this. I was just going to see what's going on. But yeah, they got the gold bars. They found out that your mortgage was being paid. The U.S. agriculture employee, they done told on you and said that you were pressuring them into going into business with Egypt. Damn. All right, well, that's Senator Bob or Robert Menendez. Damn, that's crazy. I just wanted to talk about that so we can see, man, this should go on in real life. Did y'all hear about last week, though? Y'all hear about last week when the casinos in Vegas were hacked? The Daily Mail, Caesars admit it was hacked. In second major Las Vegas casino breach, company paid $15 million in ransom to Scattered Spider Gang that also crippled MGM's hotel and casinos. Okay, Scattered. Oh, I'm about to say Scattered Sniper Gang, Scattered Spider Gang. Yeah, y'all didn't hear about this? Yeah, so this was going on last week. They hacked into the computers. All the customers' information was leaked. They ended up paying the ransom back. And the only reason I thought about this article is because when I heard the gold bars, it just made me think of Vegas. And I was like, all the money. I was like, damn, last week Vegas happened. So yeah, it gave basically the data breach was they got everyone's information and they were going to basically put that on the dark web. And then, everyone to say, hey, man, Caesars need to do better, man. They start suing Caesar for not having the actual protection over the customer information. So I guess this group, Skyder Spider Gang, they got a $15 million ransom. Now, one thing I can say is when it comes to the feds, this is where the feds lack it. Now, of course, eventually they'll catch up. But when it comes to this cyberspace, the criminals are always going to be further advanced. That's why you always see the feds getting criminals to work with them to try to help out. Because whoever this gang is, 15 million M's, the feds are coming to look for them. But the only thing is they didn't got this thing blocked up so much, they probably sent what? 15 M probably to like 30 different accounts, then sent that thing to Bitcoin. Man, that thing is about to be lost. Let me see. Gaming giant Caesars Entertainment has confirmed it was breached by hackers in an attempt to apparently perpetrate by Scatter Spider, the same ransomware gang that incapacitated systems at rival MGM Resorts International. So they hit two companies not two companies, but two businesses at the same time. Pause. So they got MGM and they got damn Caesars. Now, it's only like three companies that own all of the hotels in Vegas. They've all been partnering together. So MGM, you got Caesars, and they partner with like somebody else. And then there's one more other one. And they're like the big three of Vegas casinos. They pretty much own all of them. In a regulatory filing on Thursday, Caesar said it had identified the breach by September 7th, just days before a separate ransomware attack on MGM knocked slot machines offline and disrupted other systems. Caesar said hackers had accessed loyalty program member information and driver's license numbers and possibly social security numbers for a significant number of members in the database. The casino agreed to pay roughly half of the $30 million in ransom demanded by the hackers to restore access to the company's system. In a public disclosure, Caesars did not explicitly acknowledge making a ransom payment, but alluded to the unspecified steps it had taken to ensure that the stolen data is deleted by unauthorized actor. So they didn't want to admit that they paid it, but they paid it. You know what I mean? Let me see something. Where is it at? About $120 million. It's more than that. I don't know who this is. Yeah, here we go. Las Vegas casinos make a profit around $2 billion a day. So they spend about 14 million a day, but they make about $2 billion an hour. That's all of them collectively. So every hour is $2 billion being generated in Vegas. Las Vegas casinos make a profit around $2 billion a day. This is due to the city's status as a tourist destination, as well as its high number of visitors. Damn. Yeah, ain't that something? Then they tried to get us. See, Vici, the MG, there's only like 4 or 5 of them. So you got the Las Vegas Sands Corp, MGM Resorts, Caesars. So they hit the number 2 and number 3 largest casinos down there. Then you got Wynn, and then it started getting down. I don't know what none of these other ones are. I know what Wynn is. I stay at Wynn Resorts. And see, all of the casinos and hotels, what they do is once you have one, you'll end up selling it to somebody else to get one of theirs. There's a whole video. I'm gonna find it though. I'm gonna see if we can watch it one day on here if it don't flag us. But yeah, it's crazy, man. It's a crazy world we live in. They act in the damn casinos. They're trying to stop that money. Shoot. If y'all got any more articles, I got like 20 minutes, 20, 30 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Get a little free time. So we got the senator going down. We got the casinos back up and running. There's a lot of money being moved. It's a lot of money being moved. I don't know if y'all heard about this, but this teen driver, it was him and another young man. They were randomly hitting people, and in the same day they hit 2 people. One of the gentlemen died, and now the dude, this is what they talking about, the 18-year-old. I think he was like 17 at the time that it happened, but he said he'll be out in 30 days while they was recording it. So the friend was in the passenger seat recording. They hit one gentleman earlier in the day. They stole 4 cars throughout the day, and then they killed the retired police chief. This was a driver, and the black guy was in the passenger seat recording. Dude, the article you sent. Hold on, let me see. Eric sent me an article about HBCUs. I think it was Langston, the Oklahoma. Is this the one you sent me? Is this the Oklahoma? I don't think this is the same article. No, hell no, this ain't. This is some actual. Oh, that's the actual. Oh, we're gonna look at that too then, because this is the actual government, the Oklahoma Senate's website. All right, bet. Here we go. Snap. Hey man, why I can't click the screen, man? What the hell? Hey man, I don't know what the hell's happening on this website. Continue the site. All right, here we go. Oklahoma underfunded a historically black college by 418 million. Biden administration says Langston University has been underfunded by 418. Federal officials say. States engaged in decades of underfunding of land grant historically black colleges and universities, leading to more than 12 billion disparity with comparable white institutions. Leaders of the U.S. Department of Education and U.S. Department of Agriculture said on Monday. Unacceptable funding inequalities have forced many of our nation's distinguished historically black colleges and universities to operate in inadequate resources and delay critical investments in everything from campus infrastructure to research and development to study support services, Secretary of Education said in a statement.
Need more. Anthony Anthony Crawford, HBCUs need more funding, but says this should have been addressed a long time ago. In this letter to Governor Stitt from the federal government, Langston University missed out on more than $400 million.
I was more surprised.
Missed out on $400 million.
At the fact that they will even acknowledge the fact that we HBCUs are underfunded.
16 governors received a letter like this from the U.S. Department of Education and U.S. Department of Agriculture. The letters ask each governor to increase funding for historically black land-grant universities or historically black universities focused on agriculture and mechanical arts. The feds say when Langston was founded back in 1890, it should have gotten equal funding with Oklahoma State, which started 28 years earlier. They say because of the decision back then, Langston hasn't been able to advance in the same way.
It's always been a battle. It's always been a struggle. And, you know, but you don't really understand it or see it until you go to college that are funded, you know, by entities.
The department say the underfunding caused a severe financial gap and would have positioned the university to compete for research grants. Langston told KOCO today they appreciate the strides Oklahoma has made in funding them and hopeful for more positive conversations. And we reached out to Governor Stitt's office today for comment, but still haven't heard back.
We reached out today for comments, but still haven't heard back. All right. So they're saying that, well, I mean, we already knew this, but so there's a $12 billion disparity between the black and white colleges. They're saying that Langston, which started 28 years before Oklahoma State, hasn't been getting even the same amount of funding as them. Now, I don't know if this 418 million is dating back to like everything that Oklahoma State was getting up until now, or if they're just saying like next year they need to get this much in funding. You know what I mean? Hopefully we can find that in here. USDA Secretary Tom Vilsack sent a letter to each of the 16 governors calculating how each state's land grant HBCU established under 1890 law has been underfunded per student in state funds from 87 to 2020. Okay, so they're looking from 87 to 2020. All right. In Oklahoma, Langston University has been underfunded by 418 million, federal officials say. The figure was arrived by comparing the HBCU funding to that of the land grant institutions that were established in those states for white students in 1862. Oh, so they taking it back to 1862. That's where the four. Okay. That's what I wanted to know. So they are dating it all the way back to when it was established for the white student. So that it wasn't that they weren't getting grants. They just weren't getting the same amount of money in funding that the other schools were. So they're saying that this 418 is what's going to make up for everything that they missed out on. All right, cool. All right, bet. 6 of those states, Arkansas, Florida, Maryland, Texas, Virginia, and West Virginia, have not participated in the one-to-one federal match funding for the 1890 land grant HBCU institutions in recent years, but did so for the 1862 land grant institutions. So they have not participated in the one-to-one federal matching funding for the 1890 land grant. Oh, for the HBCUs, but they did opt in for the 1862 land grant institutions, which are the other. Okay. So basically right now, they about to get full. Now, when they get this money that they deserve, man, do something positive with it, man. Don't let us hear if y'all potentially get this money that in 10 years later, man, we're embezzling it. You know what I mean? That's my only thing. I'm like, man, please use it for good. States have alleged discrimination was responsible for decades of underfunding of land grants for HBCUs. This is a situation that clearly predicates all of us, Vilsack and Cardano wrote in this letter. However, it is a problem that we can work through to solve. In fact, It is in our hope that we can collaborate to avoid this burdensome and costly litigation that has occurred over several states. What happened with a 15-year lawsuit in Maryland? All right. So in 2022, the state of Maryland reached a $577 million settlement to end a 15-year-old federal lawsuit that accused the state of providing resources to its 4 HBCUs, underfunded, incredible. Basically, man, it ain't equal, man. We ain't getting the same. They noted that the 1890 land grant institution in the state of the University of Maryland, Eastern Shore, has not been able to advance in ways that they are on par with the University of Maryland, College Park. I went, real University of Maryland. When I was first starting my degree off, when I got my associate's degree, I went through the University of Maryland. In a large part due to unbalanced funding. But hey, man, I ain't had nothing to do with this. If that institution was equal footing with the 1862 land grant institution, it should have received $320 million in funding over the last 30 years, the secretary said. So the case in Maryland, they won 577. Now, if they use this, if they say, hey, if they start citing the case from Maryland, they should be able to win this money. They might even win more. They might even win more than the 419 that they're, you know what I mean? They can get a discrimination charge on top of that, and they might be able to make it an even 50. You know what I'm saying? 450 or do 500. Damn. There's a lot of stuff going on out there. Let me see. So the University of
A
Arkansas.
new report from the White House shows 16 states across the country are underfunding historically black land-grant universities.
One of those states is Arkansas. Thank you for joining us. I'm Faith Woodard.
And I'm Craig O'Neill. Federal law requires equal funding to land-grant schools. But the Biden administration says HBCUs are not getting what they deserve.
THB11's Jalissa Garza has spent the day digging into those numbers and hearing from local schools on how they are dealing with this. Jalissa, what have you learned?
Well, Faith, Craig, that report was in letters sent to the governors of those 16 states. The reason? To emphasize the $12 billion disparity in funding between land-grant HBCUs and non-HBCU land-grant schools. While that number is eye-opening, HBCUs I spoke to say it's nothing new.
HBCUs play a very significant role in educating students and in giving them a place where they can study and feel welcome and a sense of belonging.
The University of Arkansas at Pine Bluff has been serving the community for 150 years. They are the only land-grant HBCU in the state, and according to the U.S. Department of Education, one that is being underfunded.
If you dig in here, you'll find evidence of underfunding.
Chancellor Dr. Lawrence Alexander says while underfunding is nothing new, they've always found a way to continue providing for their students.
We've been looking under every rock to find additional funding for our university, for our students.
Along with the help of state leaders.
Governor Sanders, who came in, when she came into office, did provide some $2 million a year for the biennium. So we have $4 million that's coming in addition to our usual land grant funding.
Dr. Alexander says he believes the goal of these letters is to encourage leaders in the included states to help. The Arkansas Department of Education and the governor's office sent us a statement saying in part, quote, "The governor is proud of the rich tradition at UAPB and will continue to support the Golden Lions. And the letter received won't change their commitment to supporting higher education."
Our governors, our legislators do step up to the plate and do contribute to our institutions, but I do want to underscore the need is great.
Arkansas is also home to two other HBCUs. One is Shorter College in North Little Rock.
It is a resource that's needed. HBCUs are one of America's hidden treasures.
While the college is not a land grant school, they too have dealt with underfunding.
Having no money is a problem. It doesn't matter whether you are public or private.
And President Green says it's something he's seen for years.
None have adequate funding. None have funding on par with majority institutions that are just like them.
Both HBCU.
Damn. Well, we're gonna be looking into this. You know, this case is about to get bigger. 16 states, 16 governors, 400 there. Man, this is probably about we're probably gonna be looking at. They said it's 12 billion disparity, so we're probably gonna be looking at about $15 billion. Will this ever get paid out? Probably not, to be honest with you. Now, the individual schools might have to bring, they might have to bring the state to court, and they could probably win like that. But I mean, it's gonna take a while. They're gonna fight this and draw it out. Shoot. Institutional racism, that's what they call it, right? That's what Yahoo News said. Damn. But man, we about to go ahead and get on out of here, man. You know what I mean? We just wanted to get on here real quick tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. We got the live after show. Man, it's gonna be a good one. Episode 4 of Force. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I'm gonna see y'all a little bit later on, man. Be safe this weekend if we don't see you on the live, but have a grand old time, man. And thank y'all for tuning in. Shout out to my dog Eric. Tracy, yeah, don't go to Vegas. Tamika, what up? What up? Yeah, I mean, but man, thank y'all for tuning in, though. I'm out though.